The two ordinary hosts of this podcast are not professionals on parapsychology, extraterrestrials, cryptozoology, nor would they describe themselves as religious or prone to superstition. They'd also like to make it known that this show is not intended for children or those with sensitive sensibilities. Please listen at your own discretion. And remember, the truth is often anecdotal.
Okie dokie. Kids are scary. Hello, listeners. I am Mr. R.
And I'm Mr. X,
Paranormal dudes.
reading paranormal stories.
Mr. X, you have kids?
Nope, sure don't.
Yeah. Is it because they're so scary?
It's because they're icky.
Oh, yeah. Icky, yucky.
Yeah.
Gross, nasty. Sticky, usually. Loud.
Yeah. Faces covered
Yeah.
in chocolate. They're just dumb. They're losers. You know why would I want that energy in my life?
Yeah. There's a quote from Shane Madej. I'm not gonna be able to find it, but I think his quote is just "kids are dumb" or "children are dumb" or something like that.
That's the full quote.
Yep, that's the whole quote
Well,
from Shane Madej.
there you go. So I think you came up with this subject.
I
and
did.
What brought that up for you?
Well, I was searching through Reddit, and I can't remember what I typed out. I think I was just going through some of the subreddits. I found one that it was about toddlers or something. It was, hold on.
Oh yeah,
I have it here.
Is it your first submitted story here?
Yeah, it was in r/toddlers.
Yeah.
And not a subreddit I follow, by the way, but I guess I had searched creepy or scary or something, and I found this. So yeah, I have a lot of cousins that are younger than me, and one of them was very in tune with, like, I don't want to say the paranormal, but like definitely stuff that we didn't see.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's a pretty popular subject on the internet, so I figured we could make an episode out of it.
I'd imagine. So I've read a lot of theories on kids and why they're so spiritually connected. My favorite one being that when you're reincarnated, you still have all your memories until you turn about 3 or 4. And then they kind of just disappear. That's why toddlers say really spooky stuff. It's because they're just remembering stuff from their past lives. And then at some point, just gone.
Are you familiar with the Baby Geniuses lore?
No.
So, without really getting into it, Baby Geniuses, all babies are born fully sentient and like hyper intelligent. But until they reach a certain age, like that all goes out the window. Like it's part of the plot in those movies.
So it's like in Boss Baby, where all babies
I haven't seen Boss Baby, actually.
Are little business men and women who are shipped off to become babies and then forget all about baby utopia after a while.
Oh wait, maybe I did see that. Is that's
Alec Baldwin?
Baldwin. Yeah. Okay.
It's
yeah.
I never really cared for that movie.
Mm-hmm.
It played a lot around me for some reason for like a good period of time. And the more I would see it, the more I'd be like, I mean, I guess I could see why this is popular. But in that first movie, there's a bit. The animation is just kind of weirdly cheap. That there's a scene where the baby and his older brother, who's the only person who can hear him, they board a plane to Las Vegas full of like Elvis lookalikes. But the only thing I can think of the entire time I was watching that scene was they're taking off and they didn't even animate seatbelts onto the plane seats. And they're not wearing their seatbelts at any point in that flight. And I was just like, this is a kid's movie. Teaching them bad shit.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Ugh. Well,
all right. Well, let's.
Oh wait, you don't have any kids, do you?
Oh, no. Well, no. To my knowledge, no.
Oh, how royally would that fuck you if you found out that you did?
So I guess it really depends. After high school, I knew a girl. I guess I shouldn't say her name. But she offered me money to impregnate her because she wanted to start a family, but like wasn't interested in like having a husband. And I was like, do you want me around for it? You know, and she was like, well, that's really up to you. And I was like, I don't know if I'm comfortable with this. And I ended up not going through with it. Yeah. But if there was a little me running around, a little Mr. R Jr., if you will, I don't know. I think it would mess me up pretty bad, financially and emotionally and psychologically.
See, I've never really wanted kids, and I guess now my brothers have taken care of that, giving my mother grandchildren. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm out of this game. I'm gonna never ever. Okay.
I am the last in my family that has my last name, and I'm gonna go ahead and say that this family tree dies with me. So,
or you can oh my gosh, what's the movie? You can Highlander it. You can just to the person who kills you be like, I bestow upon thee your last name. So.
This last name kind of sucks.
None of you pronounce it right.
Right, yeah. Like that one guy that came into the movie theater. I told you about that, right?
Yeah.
I can't really tell that story without exposing my last name.
Yeah, don't dox yourself. Like the people who listen to this podcast don't already know your name.
Yeah, but like when it grows, they won't.
We're preserving that mystery.
Yeah.
Until people start also following our other podcasts where we've said our names 100 times.
See, that's the struggle. If those get really popular first, this one's gonna seem like obvious.
Yeah. Luckily, the episodes where we were using our full names are unlistenable because the audio is terrible.
Awful.
Well, all right, let's go ahead and jump into this first one. If you want to take the lead.
Absolutely. So this was posted in r/toddlers as of 1 year ago by Poppy and Merlin. I don't know if those are the parents, like if they have a joint account or if that's just a catchy name. But the story, the title is Fully Panicking Right Now, Toddlers Seeing Ghosts. And toddlers seeing ghosts seems to be a pretty popular subject on the internet, so that's why I chose it. So.
We'll have to do one about cats seeing ghosts at some point.
Oh yeah, how they stare off into nothingness as if they're looking into another dimension.
Yes, my cat does it a lot, and then I find dead flies everywhere, so I think that's the answer to that. So.
Flies are ghosts. All right,
Yes.
To preface, we live in a house that was built in 1710. Some of my more spiritually inclined friends feel that we are, quote, not alone here. But have all independently said our house feels warm and welcoming, and it's, quote, a friendly presence. I don't know how I feel about ghosts. I think I don't believe in them, but I still get scared of ghost stories. Ha! That was written in. I'm writing this in a panic, as I am home alone tonight, parentheses, husband will be home soon, thank God, end parentheses, and during our bedtime routine, I'm pretty sure my 2.5-year-old saw ghosts. Halfway through pooping on the potty, she nearly leapt off of it into my arms with pure terror on her face, looking at the shower curtain saying, "Who is coming out of there?" I was like, "What do you mean?" And she goes, "I'm scared of the people." I said, "I'm trying to... OMG, I said, trying to stay calm. What people? Oh, okay, so OMG was in parentheses. I said, trying to stay calm, what people? And she said, the bad guy. And then she wouldn't let me put her down for a while. And wouldn't go out into the hallway saying, I'm too scared of the people on the stairs. Please send help. Or tell me this is a normal age to start saying these things. Update. Well, I survived the night. It's been funny to read all the varying tales of similar ghost sightings and the wide range of how to deal with them. Thanks, everyone, for making me laugh until my husband got home and I could relieve my dogs from forced safety cuddles in bed with me.
Okay. Yeah, I think kids just say weird crap.
Yeah.
When they don't want to do stuff, especially, right? They don't want to poop in a damn toilet. Ghosts. They don't want to go to bed. Ghosts.
Yeah, I'm thirsty. I need a hug. There's a man in my room.
I need college tuition. Yeah, it's all scary shit that comes out of their mouth.
She told me you were my father. Anyway. So yeah, it's 2.5 years old. I guess I don't really know much about kids. But kids have a very strong imagination. Some say that they're more in tune with the spiritual realm. Like you were saying, they are experiencing their past life or whatever.
How disappointing would it be if after this life I'm 2 years old and just remembering doing this podcast and I'm like, God damn. Like,
oh man. Yeah, and like you won't have like the cognizance to really bring it up.
Yeah, I couldn't be like, hey, there's like so many episodes on Apple Podcasts if that still exists, you know? Like, go listen to it. We didn't get paid for it in our past lives.
Nope.
Maybe there's an estate that I can at some point access, and then I'm just gonna forget about it. So it's gonna be like
then it'll all be gone.
Yeah, just dust in the wind, like our bodies.
So if a child was to say, "Who's coming out of there?" and pointing at an empty shower, that would be concerning.
Okay. So wait, were they pointing at the empty shower? Where's that?
Oh, her face looking at the shower curtain.
Okay. Maybe your kid is just worried that an actual person is coming out of their ass, and that's why they said, "Who is coming out of there?"
Right. Scared of pooping.
Apparently, that's a thing. Apparently, it's
what?
Like, sometimes it can be difficult potty training kids because they think that literal monsters are coming out of them.
Wow.
So I've been told.
See, I think in that moment I would have to like kind of twist the story and be like, well, they're exiting you because they're negative energy, right? And you're releasing them into this porcelain prison, right? You're flushing them away to another realm beyond to trap them where they need to be. That, I mean, I don't know if children would buy that, but
dude, children will buy anything. It's you can convince them.
If kids had money,
anything.
They'd buy everything.
Yeah, I mean, how often as a kid did you see a crappy commercial on TV and think, "Whoa, I want that"? And then if you're anything like me, your parents were way too poor, so as an adult, it's gotten to the point that you see stuff that you want and you don't even buy it for yourself.
You don't even think about it, right?
Yeah.
There's a scooter at Best Buy. It's like it's not even that expensive. It's like $400. It's an electric scooter, and
pretty convenient.
I keep convincing myself like this would be a good step.
Mm-hmm.
But in the back of my mind, I'm like, that's $400 though.
Yeah, I've recently gone to the doctor and found out that my cholesterol is pretty high, or whatever. Okay. I haven't had it checked since I was like a kid. And one of the things I brought up though in that little doctor's visit was that I have trouble breathing sometimes. And all he said to me was like, "Do you have one of those digital watches, like an Apple Watch, a Fitbit, whatever, to keep track of your blood oxygen levels?" And I was like, "No, I don't." And he's like, "Well, you should get one." And so I spent like a month being like, maybe I should get one, just a motorcycle. Maybe I should get one just to kind of, keep track of that. Yeah, make sure it's where I would want it to be. A month went by. I finally bought one 2 days ago because it was on sale. But even then, I wasn't like ready to actually buy it, so I just put it on like credit because that feels less like splurging on myself.
Less like money.
Yeah, I'm not sure how accurate it is because I was wearing it at work last night, and at some point it just sends me a notification. It's like, hey, our aware feature noticed that you were swimming, so we added a 900-yard swim to your exercise roster. And I was like,
900 yards?
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck was I doing that it seemed like I was swimming? I mean, I open a lot of boxes like continuously through the night, so maybe the motion of my shoulder like made it seem like I was swimming. I don't know, but
that's so funny.
Yeah. All right, let's get into some comments here.
Okay, comment number 1 from user Conscious Chicken 1249 says, my 3.5-year-old says stuff like this all the time. Our home was built in 1992. No one ever died there. We still know the original owners. It's the cartoons in her case. There's a lot of bad guys, monsters, and general disasters in those. This is so valid.
Disasters in cartoons. Yeah, I guess so. What kind of cartoons are they watching?
Yeah, like what? I mean, I don't know. Like,
from what I understand, Bluey's not very like conflict filled, and if it is, they resolve it
pretty quickly. Yeah, these are like what 13-minute episodes,
probably.
But like Looney Tunes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like people are getting blown up with dynamite.
And as we covered in the past, they turn into ghosts a lot, especially in Tom and Jerry. I don't know how many episodes there are where he dies and has to like repent and get right with Jerry before he goes off to heaven. That might just be the one episode, and it might have just played like a bunch of times, but I remember it validly. Yeah, vividly.
Yeah, cartoons are a big one to blame. Comment number 2, user I think that says meet the fetus. Fetus? Anyway.
Fetus.
My 3-year-old just had a full-on convo with his recently dead grandma, and he does often. I wouldn't be surprised at all if she visits him. She loved his visits. Whether real or not, I just let him. And then a user responded to that and said, this is so sweet. I think my daughter has met my grandfather, Dodo, who died in 2002. I talk about him occasionally, and we visit his grave sometimes. My grandma told me that he used to go by Tombo as his nickname for Thomas. Well, we named our 4-month-old son Thomas, and my daughter started calling him Tombo out of the blue one day. I asked her where she got that name from, and she said Dodo. Okay.
Kids also don't know how to talk, so
those are some easy sounds to make, right?
So my first pet that I remember having was a dog. When I first moved to Florida, I guess it was kind of jarring. So my parents were like, let's get them, we moved from New York to Florida. They're like, let's get them a dog. But what was also jarring was that when the day that we moved to Florida, that's when my mom decided to send me and my twin brother to Puerto Rico to visit our family for the first time there.
Okay.
And so we spent like 3 months there, came back, and there was just this dog here. And you want to know what the dog's name was?
Tombo? What was it?
It's Dookie.
Dookie.
Okay. You want to know why it was Dookie?
'Cause he dookied.
Nope, because my 3-year-old brother at the time couldn't say doggy. So its name became Dookie. So
classic.
Yeah, maybe and that's like another thing. A lot of my family members on my mom's side have really weird nicknames because kids, like toddlers, gave those names to those people. Or like in the case of my cousin, we called him Booby our whole life. And that's because his dad has like a speech impediment. It always sounds like he has a cigar in his mouth, and it would sound like he was saying booby whenever he'd say baby. So that's what we called him until he was like 13. Yeah, a lot of
there's a certain age where booby wouldn't fly anymore, huh?
Yeah, it was around 13, right? Like I said. But every time I'd visit him, he would he was getting interested in girls and stuff, and he'd be talking to a girl, and I'd be like, "Hey, booby, let's go." And he'd get really, really mad.
Poor booby. I had an aunt named Gina, and none of the young children could say Gina, and for some reason, one of us just called her Lila one day, and that's how we all referred to her from then on.
Jeez, my younger brother's nickname, his entire life was Gordy, which in Spanish literally just
that's
means
upsetting.
Fatty, right?
Poor kid.
And that was his nickname because the day he was born, my gosh, he was a big. So
he is a chunker, huh?
And we still call him that to this day. So
incredible. Last comment on here is from user J Hanover, I think. 2 weeks ago, my 22-year-old was 22-month-old. Sorry, my 22. my fresh new child of 22 years old was napping on me. She was completely zonked out. Then, abruptly, she jerked and yelled ghosts, which scared the shit out of me. I just sat there like, what the fuck? Guess the nap is over. But she kept sleeping. So I started to relax until 5 seconds later when she just goes, ah! It's just quotations and an A and a lot of H's.
Yeah.
It says, we live in a century home, 1900s-ish, and I was home alone with her in a dark room. Not much expanded upon. It says, anyway, kids are fucking weird. Sorry about your ghosts. Which could be a tag for this episode.
Yeah, we'll have to remember to put that at the end. So this is funny to me because 22 months, that's not even 2 yet. I also hate when people...
When they make you do fucking math.
Yeah. They're like, oh, my 68-month-old child. I'm like,
68-month-old.
But 22 months, are they speaking at that point?
I've known very young babies to know words, but it's stuff like mama, dada, milk, binky, baba, cookie, stuff like that.
I had my ex had a toddler-ish kid, right? They were 4, 5. I don't even remember, but they were slightly older than a toddler, right?
Yeah,
becoming a child, and they could not fucking talk straight to save their life. So they couldn't say my name or anything. You want me to believe that a 1-year-old was like ghost?
Oh yeah, this
waking up from a nap.
2 months away from a 2-year-old was like Spectre's father.
The ghost. Oh,
ghost. Yeah.
That would be. I wouldn't be frightened by it. I'd be like, "What the fuck was that? Was that their first word?" Like,
their first word? Poltergeist, daddy.
It's like, where'd you learn that from? Like, what kind of those parents who like are cool, quote unquote, and they like show their kids like fucking It and
cool is not the word I would use.
Bloody Valentines and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh my god. They're like, my 4-year-old loves Chucky, and I'm like, yeah, those movies are shitty, but they would still fuck up a 4-year-old. Like,
yeah, you could blame that trauma and insomnia on you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was all the comments for that first one. So let's just go ahead and transition into my first story. I don't remember any of these because we found these 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah. One of my issues in looking for these stories was that if I typed in child or even kid into the search on Reddit, the majority of those stories were people talking about when they were a child, right? Not necessarily their kids kind of experiencing stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's just them like, oh, I had this experience when I was a child. And I'm like, that's not what I want to look for. I think your last story might be.
I was going to say my my next one is one of those.
Yeah. Let's see. So this one was just the first one that I saw pop up, and it's not really a story, but more like a call to action. It's from the Paranormal Encounters subreddit from user Universe Black Rose a year ago, and they ask, what is the scariest thing a child has ever said to you? Let's jump right into the first comment.
Yeah.
Let's see. From a since deleted user, Christmas Day years ago, my son had just turned 3. We went to my aunt's house as she was hosting the day for my dad's side of the family. My dad passed away when I was 15. So my son parked himself at the front door and wouldn't come get food or join in. He then comes to get my aunt and I and says, "We have to open the door because the man wants to come in." We thought it was imagination, but he got agitated and said, "The tall man wants to come in." Then he ran to the living room and pointed at a photo of my dad. I had never explained to him that my dad had died or shown him photos or anything, and my dad was sitting in the photo. No indication he was tall, 6'4". So we opened the door a few minutes just in case. Okay. Someone did respond to that story with, "What is it with 3-year-olds? In every story about kids, even my own, doing spooky shit, the kids are almost always 3." It's because of what I said at the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah, pay attention.
I was in the yard of the house with my son, and he looked up into a very overgrown area of the backyard and said, "Here comes the lady." I said, "Is she a nice lady?" He said, "Yes," and I left it alone. Wasn't too sure I wanted to know any more about it. LOL. You know, that's another thing. When one of the comments on your last post was, or not even one of the comments, the story itself, where they're like, "What's coming out of there?" and "I'm scared of the people on the stairs." Kids have very active imaginations, yeah. They're like,
Yeah.
constantly playing, imagining things. All the toddlers that I've dealt with always want to play pretend to any capacity, right? They want to pretend
Yes.
like they're running a restaurant. They want to pretend like they're running a car wash. They like to pretend they
They
have
all want jobs.
businesses. Yeah, right. But I remember my ex's kid, she would pretend like she was running a restaurant. She never asked me to join. She would always just have her mom do it. But she would always be serving guests in between like her mom or grandma. And I'm just like, dang, this kid has an active imagination, right? Never once was I like, they're serving Ghost because I'm
Yeah.
a reasonable person. I don't know.
So I have a cousin who, whenever she was old enough to walk and talk, but not really old enough to like do anything about it, my aunt had taken her and like a few of her other kids, because she had a lot of kids, to a cemetery to go see the grave of my grandfather. And whenever they were leaving, Cody wouldn't get in the car. And my aunt is like, "Come on, we're going to go home now." And she's like, I can't. The little boy wants to come too." And, my aunt is like, "What little boy?" And she's like, "The little boy." Like, she's like gesturing next to her, and there's nobody there. And my aunt was like, "Okay, so tell him to get in the car." And Cody was like, "He can't do that." But, like, it was an argument with a wall, right? Like, every solution wasn't working. But yeah, kids do that shit.
Dang, are you telling me all the spankings I received were because of ghosts?
Could have. Wait, what?
I don't know. I just imagine that scenario. It's like, get in the car. 20 minutes later, it's just like, man, I'm gonna spank your butt if you don't get in the car. And so this little ghost boy is just like, "This was my plan all along. I hate living children. I want them all to get spanked." Yeah.
"All of your cheeks will be red."
Yeah, I don't know. It's never occurred to me to be like, "Oh, they're talking to nothing. Must be a ghost." Then again, I also write a lot, and I write mostly like screenplays, so it's a lot of dialogue, and I have to talk out loud to be like, does this work?
Yep.
Does this make any sense? Most writers I know do that, but
I do it.
Yeah. So, and not even just for writing. Sometimes if I have like a doctor's appointment or I need to talk to my boss, I will just have full on conversations to be like, this is how that should go. Yeah.
It's good for practice. Like, I gotta call out of work today. I'd better make a test conversation in my head.
Yep. And then I get it perfect. And then the second someone answers the phone, I'm like,
throwing up.
Me no there today.
Me no there today.
Which is apparently good enough to call out at my current job, because that's the excuse
man.
people use a
I've
lot.
kind of given up on like telling people why. I've just started saying I'm taking a sick day.
Yeah. No, apparently at my job, I'm the person who has to answer all the sick calls. And my first night there, they were just like, you don't have to ask for a reason. Just leave a note. And so I don't. And when people start to give me a reason, I'm just like, okay, man, I'll let them know. Okay, let's going on to the second comment here from Silver Breadfruit 284. It's another 3-year-old. My daughter started talking about her past lives when she was 3, describing her other families, how she died when she was a man.
Oh my God.
She woke up nearly every night from age 2 to 4, screaming night terrors. German words, nein and da, no and there.
Thanks.
For non-German speakers. She would be holding up one of her legs as if it was injured and pointing to the corner of her room. From kindergarten on, she had a fixation on the Holocaust and read everything she could find. From kindergarten?
You
know what? So your kid was a Nazi. Is that what you're telling me? Or are you telling me that they were Jewish and so this was horrifying? Because if they're holding their leg as if it were injured, that seems more like a gunshot. So your kid was a fucking Nazi.
Shame on your kid's past life.
Yeah, get that
kindergarten is a German word.
Yeah, it's a German invention.
So
pretty fucked up part of German history, the kindergarten system, that I'm not going to get into here, but look it up.
There's no need.
All right, last comment on here, or last little story from this post from Brigate. When my kids started talking, she said, "I choose you," and pushed the other one out of the way. I'd had a failed pregnancy before conceiving her. She also said she remembered being in my stomach, that it was warm and red, and she had a toy snake with her. What the fuck?
No.
Oh, okay, the umbilical cord, I see. I'm convinced that was the umbilical cord. This is why I don't want kids, man. I don't want to justify the weird shit they say, right?
I've definitely had these thoughts before. Like, I do not want children, but even more than children, I don't want the conversations that I know are going to have to come up. Like, everyone is like, "Oh, I'm afraid of the sex talk," but no, I'm afraid of people. Like, when a kid asks me, like, "Hey, what do I do when I'm sad?" I don't know how to answer that. Or like
existential questions.
Their first breakup. Like, if my kid goes through their first heartbreak, I don't know how to walk them through that. But even more so if a kid was like, I snuffed out the life that should have been and replaced them with my own. I gotta drown that kid.
I have to be like, there must be a line behind you. I'll just try again. Yeah.
You gotta leave that one in a hot car and start again.
Oh, she ringing a lot of shit. See, I've always said, I've never wanted kids either. Because I don't want to deal with toddlers. I don't want to deal with like incessant crying, the not knowing how to express their emotions, all that stuff. Which is weird because my partner also doesn't really want kids. But, whenever we talk about kids, I'm like, I can't stand toddlers and I can't stand teenagers. I like kids that are between the ages of 8 and 12 because that's when they're like becoming a person, right? That's when they're figuring themselves out. That's when they're like interested in things and all they want to do is talk about that. And like, you can feign interest in that, right? And sure enough, her niece and nephew are about that age, and I had a blast with those kids. She on the other hand is like, no, I like toddlers. Like when they're this age where they're helpless and like all this stuff. And I'm like,
No.
why? Like, no. When they're a toddler, stay away from me. When they're a teenager, I hate them. Right? So
yeah, there's a much more impactful passion to your disliking of them.
Yeah. And no. So it's not gonna happen for me. Hopefully.
You could adopt a 17-year-old. That way, I mean, yeah, they're still a teenager, but that's a grown person.
Yeah. I always make the joke. I'm like, I don't know, maybe later in life if I'm like, I kind of wish I had a kid. I'll go to the adoption agency. I'll get the 8-year-old no one wants to adopt, raise him for 4 years, and then be like, well, I think you're old enough. Time to get your own apartment.
You can take my car. I'm 90 years old.
You can also have my job that I've hopefully retired from at that point.
Right. Oh, yeah. Fucking yeah. We'll see.
Okay.
So my next story's title is a little weird.
Okay.
When I was about kid, I was pulled into a dark void under my bed. So I assume it was like when I was a kid's age.
Yeah.
This was posted in r/paranormal encounters as of 2 months ago by Bizarre Gnome.
Okay.
They begin this in a way that I wish every story would begin, and it is, I know memory isn't reliable, but part of this story involves my dad, and he has confirmed his side, so here goes. Here goes. When I was maybe 7 or 8, I was in my bedroom standing beside my bed playing with my toys. It was a single bed that was pretty high off the ground, high enough that my sister and I were able to hide underneath it, and toys could fit under there, but an adult wouldn't. I was setting up a scene between Bratz and the Beanie Babies when something underneath caught my attention. I very distinctly remember something grabbing my ankles and pulling me off my feet. I remember hitting the carpet and being dragged under the bed into a pitch blackness, but it felt like being pulled off of a cliff into a massive empty pool of black. The next thing I remember, I'm stood in my bedroom. I'm yelling at my dad that pulling me out of the bed wasn't funny, and I weirdly remember that I felt like I woke up in the middle of the sentence. He obviously asked me what the fuck I was going on about, and very confusedly had to explain that it wasn't him, and decided I must have fallen asleep and dreamt it. According to my dad, he heard me screaming and came upstairs to see what was wrong, came into my bedroom and found me standing in the middle of my bedroom, freaking out at him for pulling me under the bed. My dad was a pretty typical dad joke humor kind of guy. He'd jump out at us from behind doors and poke us during scary parts of movies and pick us up and carry us around by our ankles, so I guess in my kid brain, it made sense and I thought it was him. I don't remember what else happened that night. I'm pretty sure I slept in my mom's bed because I was so freaked out, but that's really it.
This story is weird. I like the way they describe playing. They're like, I was setting up a scene between the Bratz and Beanie Babies.
Beanie Babies makes me think that this story is from an older person. I guess they still make Beanie Babies now.
I don't know if they still make them, but my partner had a huge collection of Beanie Babies. She wasn't allowed to have Bratz, so I'm guessing this isn't her story. I don't know, body image issues that her mom wanted
too objectifiable.
To avoid. I guess. I mean, they do wear like mini skirts and stuff, but like
that's true.
I don't give a shit, you know. Like,
yeah.
I guess some parents are just, what do they call it? Helicopter parents that like hover over their kids. They
hover
and shit.
around.
Yeah. All right, let's look at some comments here.
So I'm looking at some. The first one that has kind of a thread to it just says, "I think you fainted," and then they talk about how they've fainted before, and it wasn't anything like that. Let's see. Okay, credit 8662 says, "Wow, that sounds all kinds of scary. Did you ever hear or see anything while this was going on?" OP responds and says, "Nothing during that event, but that house was definitely weird. The whole family had experiences of things happening to us. There was things being thrown Thrown.
From
This
walls.
is thrown from walls, shadow figures, strange noises, etc.
Thrown from walls. That means they got like shit pitched at their heads.
Yeah.
Maybe you had an abusive family, and this is your way of coping.
Oh, yeah. You're like repressing everything and kind of removing the family members that were causing it out of the picture.
Yeah, it's like in sad cartoons when they kind of visualize the parent as like a shadowy figure that they're scared of.
Let's see. There's a pretty well-known case. Sorry, this is from Mr. Roy G. Biv 666. What? There's a pretty well-known case. A farmer in Tennessee around 1930 of 40 IIRC.
I have no idea.
What is that? Was walking around his front door through a plowed field and walking to his front door through a plowed field and took a step and vanished. While 5 or 6 people witnessed it, they would go to the spot and call for him only to get a faint scream of the man sounding disoriented.
I don't know why that
I'm going to have to look this up.
Like this.
What?
I think it was supposed to say a farmer in Tennessee around 1930 or 40. And I don't know what happened with the IIRC.
IIRC, whatever that is.
I couldn't even think of 2 words that start with I that would go right next to each other.
So David Lang was an American farmer who lived in Tennessee during the 19th century. He was an ordinary man living a simple life with his wife and children. There was nothing unusual about his life until that fateful day in September 1880 when he mysteriously vanished in front of his family and friends. Did he ever show up? Huh. Okay, well, I'll have to read up more on that later.
Make a fun little short film, I think.
Yeah.
It seems like something we would have made an old YouTube video out of.
Well, yeah. Don't Google David Lang, because apparently that name belongs to a composer. You'd have to type in farmer.
And a comedian. Yeah, I already Googled it. I had to look up the David Lang farmer. Historic mysteries.
Very interesting.
Maybe Red Web will make an episode on that.
Oh, maybe.
It's not our forte.
Maybe childhood trauma to block something out, says Death Algorithm.
Candid Tale 4115 just said interesting. What comment? Like what?
Look, they're trying to build up their karma.
Yeah. This is exactly why I built my own bed frame and doesn't have an under be pulled into, said Incredible One.
That's why I built a bed frame with a sign on it that says no ghosts.
No ghost, no spookies. The only thing that fits under my bed is my cat. And that's a safe space. So I was actually listening to Reddit stories, the Smosh podcast Reddit stories. I guess it's a video series too, but I listen to it on Spotify on days where I don't have anything else to listen to. And I don't remember what the theme was for that one, but they were specifically talking about, that's right. It was just creepy shit that happened in real life. And one of the stories was this guy who in college moved in with a random dude. I guess he was paired with this person or something that was his roommate. And that guy eventually admitted he was pansexual and would essentially come on to the OP of that story. And one night the OP goes to bed and hears like a thud under their bed. It spooks them, but they pay it no mind. And then they hear it again, so they look under to find their roommate under there. And apparently this person had been sleeping under their bed for months to try to connect with this person. I don't know. But then they start talking about like spooky shit under your bed, right? I think I would much rather see a monster than an actual person. Yeah.
Okay, so people are scary. We've talked about this. Yeah. Real people, human beings, are terrifying, and they're way more capable of injuring you than a ghost is.
Yeah. But,
as proven by the whole of human history.
Yes. But someone when they're recounting that story, brought up how their cats hang out under their bed. And like, if your cats are hanging out under there, yeah, you're not gonna worry about ghosts, right?
Yeah.
Your cat will fight the ghost. But no, my cat is the only thing that could fit under that our bed, and he doesn't go under there often, except when he's scared. And it's kind of funny because he'll just bolt, and then we're like, "Where is he?" And of course, the first place we check is under the bed, and he's like all the way in the back corner. We can't reach him or anything. One time I saw him get under there. And it was the funniest thing because he's a big dude, and
Yeah.
he literally. It was kind of weird too because we're all laying in bed, the three of us, and the cat just bolts up out of nowhere, hops to the floor, gets all the way down on its belly, like its limbs spread out, and just kind of crawls under the bed like a spider. And I was like, what the fuck? And then the
Ew.
door, like our maintenance guy knocked on the door, and I was like, you heard him coming up from probably the first floor. I was just like, geez.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, great advice for a 7-year-old. Just build your own bed frame.
So I have commented from
Ooh.
our PONDPOD Reddit account.
You said, what you should do is go back, get a sword and adventure down into that pool of black. Don't come back until you have severed the hands that grabbed you. Yeah, why not? Fight it. If this thing is coming after a 7-year-old, you at this age, whatever age you are, can take that thing on, because clearly,
Absolutely,
it's got some self-esteem issues, right? It definitely can't go after adults, so it's intimidating children. Let's see. I want to read one more comment from here. Is the one over it.
Okay.
From Pickle Geist. This is fascinating. We have come across a case in similarity where a gentleman experienced hands pushing him through his bed into a void-like space.
Ugh.
What the hell does that even mean?
I don't like the imagery of that.
Okay, well, the next sentence kind of contradicts. Yeah, it kind of contradicts that sentence. The slam to the carpet is very interesting, a very tactile detail. It's compelling and adds to it. You have had any prior or post experiences of sleep paralysis or shadow entities? What? Okay, so this person is like, I know a guy who was pushed through his bed and into a void-like space. Did he come back? Like, what?
Yeah, where is he at now?
Is this David Lang?
Oh no!
But then he's like, the slam to the carpet is very interesting and a good detail. Your storytelling is great. Do you believe him or not? Like, what? This comment was written so weird. Never got a response from the OP though.
Probably not worth it.
Yeah. Well, all right, let's go ahead and move on to my last story here.
Yeah.
So sometimes Mr. E will post into this document, and I think, oh, he surely typed this out by hand. And then there's other times where I'm like, maybe he didn't type this out by hand because, like, this last story I found was one giant paragraph, right? That surely can be broken up in some place. But Mr. E put it in here as one giant paragraph. So,
We'll have to ask him.
So this one is from the Paranormal subreddit, posted by Repo 2019 or Repow 2019.
Repow.
5 years ago. Titled, My Son Knows Things He Shouldn't.
The Wi-Fi password.
The parental lock code. It is
my
just
social
000, but yeah, most of the times when I'm at someone's house and they're like, we have parental controls on it. I'm like, oh. They're like, yeah, the code's just 0000.
Yo, your kids are stupid, huh?
Yeah, they're not gonna. They don't have like deductive skills. You're gonna be like, I must be the complicated code like 00001 or 00002. They're never gonna think to start at all zeros, right? Okay. So this story goes. This is my first time posting here, so hang with me.
Oh.
I have 4 sons. Christ. My oldest is 6, and he's the one I'm curious about. Since he was very young, first learning to talk, he's occasionally said things that don't make any sense for him to know. We were on vacation with my in-laws at the beach when he was about 2.5, and he had a blast in the water with my husband and I. The next day, we got up bright and early to go back, and he had adamantly refused. He kept insisting that there were alligators in the water. We tried to reason with him that alligators didn't live in salt water, but he wasn't having it. I was about to say, aren't there saltwater? No, it's saltwater crocodiles. But
it's a crocodile. Yeah, but they're using semantics against a child.
Yeah. Well, my husband had taken one of our twins, almost a year old, into the water, and they were playing. A few moments later, a man comes running from the pier yelling at him to get out of the water and for us to get away from the water. He explained that while watching the water from the pier, he saw an alligator just underneath the water, stalking my husband from a distance. He called 911 and animal control arrived and were eventually able to locate and capture the alligator. It was 8 feet long. There'd been, so, I grew up in Florida, never ran into this kind of thing, but I do remember, we lived near a famous pier, and anytime we'd go to the beach, it would be around this pier. And I remember one time I cut myself in the water on like a shell or something. And, as a little kid, you're paranoid. As we discussed in the last episode, I would never go more than waist deep. But I was like, shoot, I cut myself. As a kid, you're like, sharks can smell blood a million miles away. So I got out of the water. The cut healed up like super immediately. And but I was just paranoid. I was like, I can't get back into the water. So I went up to the pier and I looked into the water and I saw a shark swimming among the people. And I was like,
what?
Ugh. Yeah. It was, it probably wasn't like, I have no idea. It was a pretty big shark, but like it literally wasn't doing anything to anybody. So nobody noticed either. And me, like an 8-year-old, didn't think to go like, shark.
Tell anyone?
Yeah. But also because, I have this trauma memory in my head of watching a Jaws movie. And I don't know which Jaws movie it was, but there was a scene where people were panicking because someone said, shark, get out of the water. Everybody's running. And then the sheriff or whoever it is in this scene is holding a gun. And this might be the first Jaws movie. I just might have remembered it wrong. But in my head, he shoots the kid because he's too slow to get out of the water. And
oh no, what?
Yeah. And I was like, I don't want that to happen. So, I was just like, nah. And nothing did happen. So, back to the story. There had been storms during the night, and it was mating season. The explanation was that he was looking for a mate, and he had come in through a freshwater river that runs into the sea. But how could my son have known about that hours before it happened? Another time, I was going outside to do yard work, and he told me not to go near the bushy fig tree, because there was a rattlesnake under it. I thought it was just childhood imagination. I'm doing the yard work, and I go over to that tree to see if any figs are ripe, and I heard the rattle. I looked down, and I was about 3 feet away from a rattlesnake, and it wasn't happy to see me.
Wow.
I quickly got away as not to disturb it further and hope it would go on its way. He shouldn't have known it was there. So this story, are you familiar with fig trees?
Yeah, something about wasps.
Yeah. So figs, I've always liked fig Newtons when I was a kid. It was like the one weird thing that I was like, oh, this is really good. I don't eat fig Newtons anymore because I found out how figs are fermented, or
yeah,
is that the word I'm looking for? Wasps literally climb into the figs. They die in them. Figs are the only fruit that are not considered vegan because they're literally produced with dead wasps.
Bits of wasps in there.
Yeah. So I'd be more worried about encountering a wasp, honestly, than a rattlesnake. Where the fuck does this person live that there's just a rattlesnake hanging out in their yard?
Well, if it's figs and rattlesnakes, I'm going to assume the deep south, like Louisiana.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay, another time, this is kind of a long one. Another time, We were going to go visit my mom, and he was asleep. We hadn't told him where we were going because she had a surprise for him. We got in the car, and he said, "You can't go this way to Grandma's because the bridge is out." We always went that way if my husband was driving, and the bridge had been fully operational the day before. Sure enough, we get to the bridge, and it's tapped off with a detour sign. There's no way he should have known because word hadn't gotten out yet, especially since my cousin is the local supervisor, and he didn't tell anyone about it until after I called him. What does that mean, a local supervisor?
Like a city watch?
Like a city manager or something? Whatever.
I don't know.
I honestly find this all a little creepy because I can't logically explain it. So, I can explain it.
How exciting.
No, I really can't. All I can think is that if this was my kid, which, as we've established already, it wouldn't be.
Yeah.
I would ask him for how many numbers are in a lottery.
6?
I fully remember as a kid, my stepdad, every once in a while, when we'd go to the store, he'd be like, "Hey, give me this many numbers between, 1 and 60, whatever." And we would, and apparently we were really fucking bad at it because we were not rich.
I don't think you're bad at it. I think the system worked exactly the way it needed to.
But yeah, I would take advantage of this kid's ability. I'd be trying to get rich off of him, and then blow all that money before he's old enough to inherit any of it.
Man, my mom was so addicted to like scratch offs.
Yeah.
She would work 2 jobs, right? She was a postal worker during the morning, and she was a prison guard at night.
Jeez.
Needless to say, I had to dress myself often. And sometimes she'd pick me up from school, groggy from being asleep all day. And she'd be like, "Oh, I won $100 on a lottery scratch off today." And I'm like, "Oh, that's really cool. What are we going to do with it?" And she's like, "Well, no, I bought 5 $20 lottery tickets, and well, I didn't make my money back."
All right, let's see what these comments have to say.
Yeah.
First comment from Chill Wisdom. That's such an appropriate name for this comment.
Yeah.
It says, "Did you ever ask him who told you instead of how do you know?" Okay. The OP does respond with, "That never crossed my mind. I will definitely do it if this happens again." Surprise, it never happened again. The kid was on to you. He knew you were going to ask, so he just never brought it up. Because you got a psychic. See, next comment from... this is another response to that same comment. From Shiny Aeon. "No, that would be leading. Instead, maybe ask him gently if anyone told him. Or if he saw... What is this, a fucking lawyer? Or if he saw or heard something, or just knew, or whatever. If he doesn't know, don't press him. Pressure is a swift way to kill any natural talent or knack." Okay.
All right.
Psychic impressions can come in many different ways. You don't want to think that whatever way he gets insights is wrong. No one is saying that. Jesus Christ. If he tries to force it, it comes in a different or more right way. It will mess him up with self-doubt. In parentheses, the whole rest of his comments in parentheses, "I experienced this with my own scholastic talents." Is that what that says? Scholastic talents?
Scholastic, yeah.
"And when I couldn't force them to work like they should, I started to hate schoolwork. Stopped caring about doing homework or projects." Sorry, why is this important? "I squeaked by because my memory was good and I tested well, but I could have done so much better if I hadn't soured on it due to others' expectations for me."
Okay. All right.
I hate you, Shiny Aeon.
Yeah, drag him.
Let's see, the next comment from Blender X06 says, "Sounds like it's all been incredibly on point. And it..." What?
And OT?
Huh. Fuck, they just tagged on here. "But it's a rare treat to run into other moms with 4 boys, including twins, just like myself. Just want to say hi." Was this my mom? Because my mom also had 4 boys. with twins.
Do these commenters know each other?
No, I think they're just trying to make internet friends. Yo, I hate when people do that too. They're like, I don't have friends in real life. Let me just see if I can make them online. Like I didn't have online friends when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
Let's see. OP did respond to that person's comment with, I don't find many others like myself either. My oldest is 6, the twins are almost 5, and the youngest is 11 months. I like to joke, the husband can't make girls. Hilarious.
So funny.
No, my mom had 4 boys, twins, and then 2 other boys from a different dad, right? And she wanted a girl the last time they had a kid, but I can't remember if they wanted it to be a surprise and it ended up being a boy. I don't remember because I was like 11, but my mom just gave up after that. She was just like, I guess I'm not going to have a girl. Now that she has grandkids, all boys. So
all of them?
Don't know what's going on there.
Oh, man.
Okay, that's the last comment on here from Socks to be you. Okay. Obviously, he put an alligator in the water, a rattlesnake under the tree, and blew up the bridge while you were browsing Reddit. Jesus, lady, pay attention to your kid before he kills us all.
Wow.
Oh, that's a great theory.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah, we're gonna have to. It's gonna end up being like a looper situation. This kid, when he grows up, is gonna be such a menace. We're gonna have to invent time travel, go back in time to kill him. But he's always gonna be one step ahead because he sees the future.
Right. We have to send him to kill him.
Did you have any Ask X to close us out?
I tried to look for some Ask X, but the problem is, if you go to Ask Reddit and you type in kids, that is nothing. That is a dead end. I also tried scary kids or creepy kids, but it's like, what's the creepiest thing a kid has ever said to you?
We've already done that.
Yeah, so I have, let me copy this. I'm going to post it in the Discord under media. Here we go. I forgot about the last thing I posted in media. And...
Oh, fuck. All right.
Here's a video for you.
Let's see. It does have some sort of caption on it that reads, Dad tried to prevent her from falling backwards just for her to do it anyways. So I think this is a play on, you see those quick dad saves. Like dads are just chilling. You see a kid fall, he catches them, right? So this looks like very much like it's set up like that, right? There's a dad on his laptop on one end of a couch. On the opposite couch that's adjacent to his, there's, I think, 2 kids. I can't really tell. It's a little blurry. And let's see how this plays out. Oh, there are 2 kids. One of them seems like a toddler, and he's just laying there. Oh, he's trying to get up. Blanket over his head. Dad notices, goes in to save, takes the blanket off, throws the blanket, goes back to his workstation. Oh, fuck. And the kid just does a fucking backflip over the armrest. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, I wasn't
the energy of that kid, is like, oh, you think you saved the day?
His brother does not move the whole
nope.
fucking time. Oh, the dad was so aggressive with the blanket too. They're like, God damn kids, like, gonna be the death of me. And then immediately this kid backflips over the couch. Oh, jeez. I guess, I'm sorry, I said him, but it's a little girl. Let's see, what are there some comments on here? Someone says, she was determined. Their person here has, having children seems like being on suicide watch 24/7 for several years. It's like kids do everything they possibly can to get themselves killed. She waited for him to sit down and was like, watch this.
Yeah, check this out.
Someone said that backflip was clean, though. Yeah. The kid be like, how dare you? Okay.
That was my blanket.
Speedrunning life. Kids sometimes throw themselves backwards when throwing a tantrum. Probably was just protesting dad taking away the blanket. Yeah,
well,
thanks for
learned.
The parenting advice, man.
Yeah.
I could have told you that. I don't even have kids. Almost looks like the kid did it out of spite. LMFAO. The song, not the abbreviation.
Right. The song.
Best thing I've seen all day. Sure is. All right, was that all you had?
That's all I had. I couldn't find anything else that was interesting.
Well, all righty then.
Well, I think that's going to have to do it for this child-themed episode. If you have any paranormal stories of your own, you could submit them to us for this show down in the comments or to our subreddit that is PONDPOD.
Yeah, and we've been a paranormal dudes ever in need of stories to intrigue, perplex, maybe even frighten. So remember, if you can't explain it, post about it. And anyways, kids are fucking weird.
Bye!